Movie review time for Shazam 2: Fury of the Gods. At the beginning of this month, I made a video telling you all the new movies I was trying to see in March and whether or not I think you should pay to see them in theaters. Well, I'd like to apologize because in that video I told you despite the trailers looking honestly kinda whack, you should definitely see Shazam 2 in theaters. But now after watching the movie in theaters, I kinda regret spending money on it. And don't get me wrong, it's not terrible, it's still worth the watch, I just don't think it's worth 20, 30, 40 bucks, whatever you spend on movie tickets in your city. But I don't want to be completely negative, so before we talk about what was bad about this movie, let's talk about what was good about this movie. Oh yeah, I bet you were expecting me to come up with a reason why this movie wasn't bad, but I can't. So here's my French bulldog named Morty. He says hello. Alright, now let's talk about what made this movie so bad. For starters, Billy Batson is not a kid anymore. He is almost a legal adult, and the disconnect between the kid version of Billy Batson and Shazam is ridiculous. They don't even seem like they're the same character at all. Another thing is, I really liked the first Shazam movie because it was so funny and a little bit badass and really wholesome, honestly. But in Shazam 2, it's like they got rid of all three of those things. First off, it's not funny. They tried the entire movie to be funny, but they fail every single time. I mean, one kid seriously fed a unicorn Skittles and said, "Taste the rainbow." And then 5 minutes later, they're riding the unicorn. They're like, "Taste the rainbow, motherfucker." I mean, the funniest part of the movie was the wizard's face on Wonder Woman's body. That actually had me laughing a little bit. But that wasn't a joke, that was physical comedy. Second, it's not badass in the slightest bit. Seriously, take a look at Black Adam's movie, ignoring all the many issues with it. The one thing that they did right was highlighting what he can actually do as a character. Well, not only Shazam, but all of his siblings now have those same powers. Why did they not look that badass in this movie? Why? I mean, come on, there was a fight with a dragon, and they still found a way to make it corny as fuck. Oh yeah, and on top of that, every single action scene in this movie was a CGI fuckfest, on par with CW's Flash. And I'm sorry to all the Flash fans out there, but that's not a good thing. Another thing I didn't like was how disconnected the family was the entire movie. The first one ended with them supposedly forming their own Shazam super team. But then in this movie, they all of a sudden just don't give a shit about each other and they're doing whatever the hell they want. I mean, they start to care about each other a little bit more by the end of the movie, but if you ask me, it's too little too late. What I wanted to see was a final fight that required them to work as a family and use their powers as a group. At the end of the day, Shazam: Fury of the Gods works as a sequel to Shazam the same way Thor: Love and Thunder does to Thor: Ragnarok. Except somehow, Love and Thunder is still way better of a movie. Personally, I rated this movie a 4.6 out of 10, but let me know what you think in the comments.